Corporate Beekeeper. I have no clue where that guy came from, and I still don't know what his deal was. I mean, he pissed off a lot of people, that's for sure. But for what reason? You know, I mean, he shows up one day, dressed like a beekeeper. You know, I mean, because that's what he is. That makes sense, okay? Then all of a sudden, he starts showing up in a luchador, in a lucha libre mask, and he's got ties tied all over himself. And well, prior he had always called himself the Beekeeper, but then once he started wrapping ties around himself, he called himself the Corporate Beekeeper, and that's where the problems really started, because he really looked at himself as being some type of CEO type person, and then he started trying to act that way towards the rest of the roster. But what made it worse was not just the bossiness; it's the fact that, you know, Corporate Beekeeper doesn't speak; he's completely mute. So his way of bossing people around was very, very physical and involved a lot of pushing. He would kick. I mean, who the heck kicks? He would, what was some of the other things he would do? And then he'd create these strange alliances, you know, and they would team up, and then they would, you know, the rest of the roster was very focused. We knew what we were there for. We were there to win belts, right? And maybe settle some scores. But other than that, you know, I mean, we had other interests, but that was the main focus. But then here comes Corporate Beekeeper, and see, that was the thing. No one even knew what the guy really wanted. I mean, there's plenty of times where he had a match for the belt all lined up. All he had to do was agree, and then he'd disappear, and we'd come to find out he was at some workshop for entrepreneurs instead of being there at the match. But he never even started a business. I mean, where that guy's head was, I really couldn't tell you. And then he got a keyboard at one point that he just started carrying around with him everywhere, and he would just like burr 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 burr, no music, just noise. And yeah. You know, honestly, I don't miss Corporate Beekeeper one bit, you know, and I have a fond memory just about every other guy I wrestled against, but that guy, I wonder where he's at. I wonder where he's at now. I haven't heard anything about him for years, but I'm imagining he's either dead, or probably in the process of dying. Those are the three options, and I'm leaning towards dead, probably, because he must have starved to death by now. Anyway, yeah, so those are my memories of the Corporate Beekeeper.